Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big Gaucho's Stock Investor Show. It's completely out of pocket to help put money in your pocket. I'm Austin, back with the boys for the first show of the new year, 2021.
Hey, what's up, Big Gauchos? It's your boy, Big Gaucho Tyler. We back for a new year, new ways to make some money. Big Gaucho, Money Man Gaucho poster in the background.
Yes, sir. We are back indeed. It is New Year, but the same gauchos that we all love and appreciate. So there we go. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all the love and support. It makes us happy and it makes you happy. And yeah, that's all we got. So what have we got first, Tyler?
Oh boy, you already know. Jack Ma has gone missing. Alibaba founder has reportedly been out of the public eye for about 2 months now. So we talked about this last episode. Alibaba has been going through some controversies based off of their, I believe it was antitrust laws and whatnot, basically making their vendors sign off saying that they can only be the only ones to sell on their platform. And well, China was not having that, and Jack is basically on their chopping block. They're out for him, and he's trying to get out. That's just how it is,
That's true.
Supposedly, they said that the reason he has not been in public eye is because of scheduling conflicts, but we all know that's cap.
That's true. He hasn't been seen in over 2 months, and obviously his schedule's not that busy. And China is cracking down on Alibaba and their new SPAC because of antitrust laws, as we talked about in the last episode. Make sure you go watch that. Have it up here, maybe. So it's quite suspicious. They don't take too kindly to it, and an old interview is resurfacing of him saying that one day he would actually end up dead or in jail because of how he's running his company, and because it's become as big as it has. The Chinese government is not too fond of those things.
Yeah, definitely. And the shares tanked today a little bit. Not as much as they did when the news of the Chinese and antitrust laws came out, but they tanked a little bit today. So, the stock market did not like the news. Obviously, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, that's a major player in the space.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with. Maybe it does have something to do with this complex. I remember, I think it was like last year when Mr. Kim Jong-un went missing for a little bit. Yep. Everyone thought he died or something, but he was like, I don't really know what happened in the end, but apparently, like, nothing bad happened to him.
Slightly different scenario.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a completely different scenario, but I don't know. I wouldn't get too invested in the conspiracy theories that he's like being kidnapped right now and taken to the back room in the casino and, getting schlocked over there.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it is the People's Republic of China. It is communist. So with this much wealth for one man, I don't know if they like that too much. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they definitely don't. Do you think you would want to come to America then and join the capitalist society?
That'd be pretty crazy. What if we just see on the news tomorrow that he's just like at Bill Gates' house. He's just like staying in his like guest bedroom. He just like pops up on the news.
Alibaba has a partnership with Microsoft or Amazon to become the world's largest super company.
Alibaba and Amazon merge and become the biggest company in existence. Like they become bigger than every other company combined.
They might. I mean, hey, he probably wants out of China. Let's just be honest. They do not want him around, especially for his worth and for some of his comments that he said. China's a country that is very fond of censorship, so they definitely want to keep everybody under control. So I wouldn't be surprised if he moves the company and partners up with another foreign company.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't know if he has a future in China, especially if they're after him in this way, but I agree the laws in United States would definitely be more favorable towards him, and I'm sure he still has plenty of connections to be able to run offices out of China still. But it'll be really interesting. I don't think he's secretly imprisoned. I think maybe he tries to flee the country.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I could see it. Like Carlos Ghosn, the CEO of Nissan. Remember that? He fled Japan to Lebanon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 'cause he had like some thing. I don't remember what it was. But
Mhm.
it was some investigation about Nissan, and he just dipped. No one heard from him, and then he showed up in the Middle East.
Wow.
It's crazy.
The news tomorrow says Jack Ma is found in the Saudi Arabia, just chilling and like on a camel or something.
So funny.
Yeah, definitely not looking good for Alibaba as of right now. Their stock actually is at $227. You know, a month ago they were looking at around 270, so definitely some significant amount of loss. What do you
Yep.
boys think? Is this a buy or is this a hold or a sell or what are we thinking?
I'm thinking just wait, honestly. It's getting me pretty excited just because this is a stock I've always wanted to have in a portfolio. But that being said, I think it has a lot more to drop before that could happen because this is only the beginning of this news, and who knows what the end result is going to be. If he actually does turn up missing, or maybe he was kidnapped or something insane, then stock's only going to drop more because Jack Ma is Alibaba, and
Mhm.
it's going to be hard to have that same image without him, and they might keep losing more. So don't think it's a dip and buy it yet. Just wait for like a month or so until more news comes out.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
would. I think it's going to drop some more. I think not based on the news of the Jack Ma going missing. I don't think that's really going to impact it too much in the long run. But I think what's going to be more impactful is the investigation by Chinese government. Once that has more information come out, which I think is going to be negative, just a suspicion, then it's definitely going to drop the stock a lot. Especially if they decide to, I don't even know, like break up the company in some manner. I don't know how they would, what they would really do if they find Alibaba guilty. But I think they probably will. I think the Chinese government is scary and they're going to put the hammer down. So I think you don't want to buy it, maybe even sell it, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to sell if you have a low risk tolerance, like Dave was saying. Uh,
yeah, see, I'm kind of optimistic about it. I hope it drops to around $200 and I honestly think it's a buy. I feel like they're still a really big company, and I feel like they have enough money to pay off a lot of officials and do some type of lobbying just to stay afloat.
I don't know if that's lobbying, Big Gaucho.
that sounds like illegal bribery.
Well, you know how it goes. Like a lot of countries, it's like it's customary for bribery. No matter how
Yeah,
immoral it is a
yeah,
part
but
of some cultures.
it's not bribery. It's just like gifts and like treating people to expensive things.
Same, same.
It's not like bribing a government official with a bag of cash.
Oh
here's
yeah, they
here's
do that.
$25 million. Shut up and leave me alone.
I mean, I feel like there's shady stuff going on in all businesses. I think Alibaba is a part of it. I feel like they will stay and they will recover. So around $200, I think it's a buy.
Could be. They're never going to be as shady as Deutsche though.
Oh no, never. They're
But
still doing good.
yeah, I know. It's wild, but neither here nor there. Still scary. Jack Ma's Wikipedia page has marked him as missing but not deceased. So there's been news about him like all day nonstop. So hopefully he is safe. And on a slightly more positive note, maybe not positive for some people, but we got stocks taking on some huge losses, and we're excited for the bear market. Now, here to tell us about that is Big Yacho Tyler once again, right?
All right, guys.
Or is it Dave?
So
And Tyler can
we,
take this one.
I'll take it, boys. You know, we've been talking about this for a very long time. We expect a crash. We see that the market is so overinflated and overbought that it really is just away from reality. And well, today it brought us a little bit back towards reality. And Dow Jones has dropped almost 400 points today. They were down 800 points out of the lowest, and the S&P 500 dropped 55 points. At the most was down 100 for their lowest. So, what do you guys think? Is this the start of a bear market, or is this a little correction for another rally?
Honestly,
You
it's
know,
not gonna. Go ahead.
I think the Bears won today, obviously. But they're not gonna win the war. Eventually the Bulls are gonna come back and it's gonna, we're gonna go to the moon. And get some chicken tendies.
Honestly, that's probably true. I don't see a huge crash coming for at least a few months, especially not with the forbearance programs going on and the new stimulus being passed, and likely when President-elect Joe Biden takes over, he will be passing more stimulus and funding that will keep the market propped up for quite some time.
I think a
Yes,
lot depends also on the Georgia election. Whatever the results of that is going to have a huge implication in whether the market's going to crash or not.
Yeah, that too, because that would determine the balance of the Senate, and that is a big deal because the House is controlled by Democrats, Senate is Republicans, and we're gonna have a president-elect that is a Democrat. So that would determine the economic cycle in a way too, because
Mhm.
the most profitable markets are basically unopposed, just passing beneficial stuff for the economy. But if everybody's just going to be arguing between the branches of Congress, then could see some stalling for sure.
Yeah, especially like if that happens, I think it's gonna be a lot harder to pass stimulus bills to prop up the economy.
Yeah,
I think that might probably lead to a crash just because once the stimulus stops, there's gonna be a crash. Well, yeah, I think there will be a crash because, like,
I do
I mean,
too.
obviously, like the argument is that people who are hurt most by the lockdowns and such are lower class people, and those typically don't invest in the stock market. So that's why the market's so high right now, is because a lot of the wealthy people are still invested because it's not really harmed them to the extent that it's harmed the lower class. And with the stimulus packages, even though they're not much, and also the employment benefits, they're able to still pay for basic necessities while the middle class can buy their goods that they want to help keep revenue at a decent level, not as high as it should be. But if stimulus stops being given out, then you're going to see like kind of like a delayed effect, I would say.
I
Oh
would
yeah,
say so
definitely.
too. And you guys, I mean, just look at it. I mean, you saw that it took 9 months for them to even pass just a $600 check. I mean, don't think that the government's gonna bail us out of it anytime soon, because they're gonna be arguing about a complete bailout for much longer. So we'll see what
Oh yeah,
happens. But
definitely.
I agree with Dave. A crash is on the horizon. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, definitely in a couple months. I think this is a little bit of a fake out, just buy a little quick dip before a bounce back. I actually personally made a couple buys today, and I'm planning to do a couple more buys tomorrow. So I feel like within the next month or two, it'll be pretty positive, and then maybe we'll see some fluctuation down. But as of
Pretty
right
dope.
now, we're still bulls straight away.
Pretty good
Yes,
indeed.
sir. I agree. I agree. But
So
it's the new year, so we got to reflect on what happened last year. And last year was the year of Tesla. Tesla, they did pretty well, you could say, at least in terms of their stock. It went up like what was it, 700% or 800%?
something like that. So many random people just became millionaires overnight because of Tesla's huge rally last year. That is the definition of bull if
Yeah,
you're
Tesla.
if you're just getting into stocks.
Tesla was definitely the bull of the year. No question about that. And they released some sales information today that was, or not today, it was over the weekend. That was really kind of interesting. So at the beginning of 2020, they were hoping to deliver at least 500,000 vehicles to customers. And news came out that they were just shy of it. It was like a couple hundred shy. So they pretty much achieved their mark, which is pretty impressive considering 3 months into the year, we had a national pandemic and we had to lock down. So that definitely put a wrench in a lot of their plans. So you can only imagine how many cars they would have probably gotten out without that having happened. That probably would have been at least 100,000 more, I would imagine.
Yeah, and their main facility is in Fremont, California, and the lockdowns over there are much more strict than anywhere else in the country. So it's pretty amazing that they would have been shut down for at least 3 to 4 months. The factory was totally not operational because Elon kept tweeting about it. So for them to make
Hmm.
up that much production that quickly means, if unimpeded, yeah, they could definitely hit 800,000 this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, so their
Like if
goal
you,
for this year is 800,000, but I think he's kind of small. He's like he's real. He's a what is it called? A lowballing it, just because. Yeah, the factory was shut down for a long time, so they can definitely make probably close to 1 million, I would imagine. That's probably what the number's going to be. So it's gonna once they release that at the end of 2021, it's going to be like, oh my god, we just broke expectations by this much. But I mean, really, it should be a lot higher than 800,000, in my opinion.
Under promise, over deliver. All the
yeah,
stocks only rallied this year because everybody was under promising losses more than gains. They were, everybody under promised the losses and then they're like, oh, see, it's not as bad as we thought it would be. I mean, they do the same thing with the gains too. It's just a pump and dump for the big corporate execs, in my opinion.
yeah. And let's
It's
do the
true.
math real quick. Quick math was Tyler. We already know. So if we have 500,000 cars sold, right? What's like an average
God,
Tesla cost? 60,000?
yeah, 50 to 60.
Let's
Yeah.
Well,
say
I mean, it depends because like the Model X's are up to 100, but the Model 3 starts at 30.
I
so.
think
What's the
most of the
middle?
vehicles were the Model 3s that sold.
How
Yeah,
much are the Model 3s?
I mean, like mid range, the middle model's like 50.
So
Let's
let's
just say
say
like
50,
45.
45. So 500,000 times $45,000 just in car sales. They
That's like
made
$25.
$22.5 billion in revenue
It's big
based
revenue.
off car sales.
Big revenue.
Oh, that's pretty good, not including like maintenance or anything like that, like extra fees or whatnot. Not sure what else they sell. The tequila, you know how it goes. The merch, just on car sales, they made $22.5 billion. So
No.
definitely props to them. Are they a profitable company? Absolutely not. But you know,
Well, they're
if the net
profitable. Just the
barely.
P/E ratio is horrible. It's
Yeah,
garbage. They're
exactly.
so overinflated, like 1,200 times.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
give or take what it is, Tesla's way overinflated, but they still have the numbers to back it up. So props to them. Whoever bought them before this year made out pretty well. Buy
Yeah,
Definitely, you
shorts.
could say that.
it's an understatement, but yeah, I totally agree. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So you saying Tesla's a buy or a sell?
It's
I'm not touching it.
I
It's more volatile than Bitcoin. I'm not touching it.
well, all right, here's my hot take. If you have enough money for 10 shares that you're just ready to let go and just not care what it does, buy a Tesla. I'm talking about like you literally just have money in a suitcase. You just have no idea what to do with it. And you just rather burn it. Just buy Tesla stock.
Why would you be burning money in a suitcase? Sounds sketch.
Warm
It's
up.
just because you have so much money, you just don't know what to do with it. So just buy
That's
Tesla stock, and if it goes up a lot, sell quick, and if it goes down, just you knew you bought it all-time high. So what do you
that,
expect?
that's true. It's literally gambling. So what are you gonna
Yeah,
do?
personally, like if it's like a one-shot chamber in your gun, I would not shoot. I would definitely put in something else or diversify it into multiple stocks because Tesla's overpriced. Even though they did the 5-to-1 stock split, definitely pick something else.
They definitely are. Cop some Albertsons instead. ACI.
Yeah, I'm buying them too tomorrow. Watch.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. But
I respect that.
what's this news we got about Alphabet?
This is pretty
They
interesting. So Alphabet has been taking some pretty big L's recently. They've been investigated for antitrust under the U.S. government, opposed to the Chinese government. And today, news just came out that a handful of workers at Alphabet have decided to form a union with the Communications Workers of America. And it's a pretty small union right now, just because it just started today. So there's only about 200 people, which is small because they have over 125,000 employees. But that number will probably grow quite substantially, I would imagine, in the next couple of weeks, unless Alphabet just puts the hammer down and fires all these employees, because they're known to do that. There's
Yeah.
been an instance, I think it was about a year ago, where they fired a couple people because they were talking about organizing strikes. And I think one person that was fired was actually pretty high up on the corporate ladder. So they're not afraid to do it, and they might, honestly. But this is a very weird union because, most unions, they form for collective bargaining to get better wages or better work hours or whatever. But apparently, according to the people in charge of this union, that was not what the formation is for. So you may ask, what is it for? And essentially, it's kind of like to protest this stuff that they don't like the company doing. A couple examples that were given were Project Maven, I think that Maven or Maven, which is essentially a project that Google did with the Department of Defense of the it's
Dave's having a stroke. Please.
I'm having a stroke. All right, we're good.
Sound a strike.
It's a project that the Alphabet is organizing with the U.S. government that has AI technology help identify people for drone strikes, essentially. So that's, considered unethical by some people, but considered ethical, I guess, by others. So there's controversy there. I'm not going to say like what we stand on that because we don't go there, but there's that. And then there's also, I guess, multi-million-dollar buyouts from executives who have been accused of sexual assault and harassment that has happened. And that's kind of gross, but it happened. So I guess that's what they're trying to protest. And I don't know, it seems kind of weird because you got to sacrifice 1% of your paycheck to become part of the union, and it's a voluntary action, so you can do what you want, which is kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's good they have the freedom to do it. I don't know if I'd buy Alphabet stock though. I think after that it's going to go down more.
Yeah, it went down a little bit today, not significantly, but just like a couple percent.
Yeah, it was down like 1.5%, but it's still $1,700 a share, and they're at like a 6-month high because they were trading about $1,000 in March a share. So it's gotten way too hyped. I think it's more stock than I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, and also aren't they having like problems with Congress that they're a monopoly and whatnot, and that they might have to disband? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, there was antitrust going on with Alphabet, Facebook, Amazon, I think too.
Yep, Alibaba.
So yeah,
I think stocks only go up.
Yeah, so there definitely should be some downtrend towards this. I mean, at 1,700, even at 1,500 or 1,000, I personally think for my bank account, it's not worth the buy. You can definitely get more returns out of other stocks. Like I said, same example, you have like a big suitcase of money you just want to throw out, buy some Google or Alphabet, but
Yeah,
not my play, not my portfolio. I think there are other sectors where I put my money at. Boys, what do you think?
yeah, I would agree. There's almost no value left in this sector.
Yeah, I'm likewise. I think tech is really overvalued right now. So, well, most tech, not every tech, but this one definitely is. So with that being said, I think, the guys and I are going to YOLO and put all of our portfolio into puts for Google for $20 that expire in 20 minutes.
Jeez Louise, lose all our money.
Sounds good to me. Hey, no risk, no reward. I wonder why they're only at $1 for 100 contracts.
We're going to buy 3 million contracts each.
Basically the lesson learned here is that if your grandparents or other older relatives are talking about a stock and buying it, and like Google, and they're like, oh, Google's the next big thing, you should probably stay away from it. It's already too hyped at that point. Just a word to the wise.
I'm buying on margins.
Should also buy some of this next stock we got coming up. We got some news related to Apple and some cars. Who's got that one?
Ooh, that's me. Okay, guys. Have you guys ever heard of Foxconn?
Nope.
All right.
Native.
Well, here's some background. So Foxconn is basically the supplier to Apple. They're the ones that manufacture the iPhones in Taiwan. And so basically there's been a lot of controversy with Apple and their image on sweatshops, and a lot of people from Foxconn actually being overworked, underpaid, and actually a couple employees at times commit suicide or try, taking their own lives because of their work conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, that was a couple years ago. By now, I think the problems have been pushed under the rug or covered up really well. because Apple only wants to make their product as cheap as possible. So probably nothing has changed, to be honest. But with that being said, Foxconn is starting to, diversify their portfolio now, and they want to invest in the new and best thing out now, which is EV vehicles. It's a pretty hot take, pretty hot topic throughout the stock world, and they're looking into buying in $200 million of Byton, which is a Chinese EV company.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think Apple still has room to grow. It would just depend on the price. I haven't looked at any price targets recently, but that's pretty interesting news. I think it might help them with their development of that Apple car, right?
I'm not
Ooh.
completely sure, to be honest. I think
Possibly.
Foxconn and Apple are two separate companies, so I think what Foxconn is going to do won't really affect Apple in a sense. They're just kind of like known to be Apple's supplier, and they've had a
Okay.
lot of controversies because of their working climate. But a little bit about Byton. So in July 2020, they actually had to suspend their operations for the M Byte, which was their EV car, and they laid off a lot of workers because of lack of funding. So now with this $200 million potentially going into them from Foxconn, they might reevaluate their structure and start producing in late 2022.
That could be cool. I might have to check out some of that Foxconn stock.
And now that we're talking about it, I remember Foxconn. That's familiar now. I recognize that. But the only EV Chinese company that I really recognize a lot of is NIO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the bread and
Neo's
butter.
yeah, Neo's at an all-time high, honestly. I think it's beyond point of return.
NIO is like the Chinese Tesla, for those who don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest with you guys, I think this is a blank. I do not believe Foxconn and Byton will actually, uh, produce within the time frame needed. I feel like there's so many other EV companies that are gonna have start production a lot sooner, like Lordstown
Mhm.
Motors in September 2021 with their Endurance. Already have a prototype in a actual factory. But that's
Yep.
beside the point. And Workhorse too, they have a trades. They have what's it called? A deal with, I believe, the post office to create some EV mail trucks. But this is also another EV company trying to make a stamp on the market. But I think it's a blank, personally.
I like it. I don't think it could actually pop off. I feel like as soon as you said the electric mail truck, it just reminded me of the Nikola electric garbage truck. So just put
Oh
a bad
yeah.
taste in my mouth right away. So I probably won't buy it for that reason.
No, that was a different company. That was Workhorse. Sorry.
Or Workhorse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now they're just doing, I think, regular EV vehicles or cars. Foxconn, they're a reputable company because of what they do with
Mhm.
Apple. I don't know if they will be able to kind of like diversify into like electric vehicles because they're just basically a manufacturing company and they're just
Mhm.
funding another EV company essentially to produce a product.
Yeah, I see that. We'll see what happens, but from what I'm getting, NIO is the Chinese Tesla, and Byton is the Chinese Nikola. So take your poison.
Pick
Yeah,
your
you
poison.
got that, Dave.
Pick your poison. You heard it here first, but you can also pick your poison out of these big winners, big losers, and sleepers. See what makes you some money first. Hit
Hit
that
that
intro.
soundtrack.
That works too. All right. Got some huge Gaucho winners today. Brookfield Property Partners up 17.55%. What do they do?
They essentially just do commercial real estate, so nothing really interesting.
Ooh.
So I'm surprised it's kind of popping off, though. You would think that commercial real estate would be doing kind of bad right now.
It's all speculation, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah, that's enough of that. But number 2, we got Harmony Gold Mining Company Limited, HMY, up just shy of 14%. And they have gold mines in South Africa. So that's cool. A little bit of Yamana gold over here. Gold's always a good commodity to have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Gold was up
yeah.
$50 today, and they are predicting $2,500 by the end of the year.
Dang.
Dang, dude. Wait, what's it at now?
1980.
So still room to buy gold.
Definitely a lot of room to buy gold.
Yo, make
Definitely,
sure you check
especially
out Yamana.
yeah, Yamana Gold. They're up. They were actually up a lot today.
Yeah, they're really
They were.
volatile stock. I've been looking at them and they've been having huge swings and then huge downswings. It's
hmm
very, very, very
They're
volatile.
up 6.65% on the day, up 38 cents. They're at $6.09.
Jeez, dude. Yeah, I'm looking at their graph. It's just.
Yeah, like I'm
That's
looking at the
scary.
graph. I'm looking at the graph. It reminds me of someone who's in like ventricular fibrillation. Like it's not good. And it's just going roop, 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 roop.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's scary.
if they hit 2,500, like everyone's predicting, it's gonna be a all the way up.
Probably true. Probably true. Let's check out these losers though.
Lose, 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 lose,
Lose.
lose. Basically, I don't know what any of these are. Who wants to do it?
Number one, we have QuantumScape Corporation. Went down a lot. They went down almost 41%. And we had them on the episode, I think, at least a month ago. I think they were in the biggest winners because they had they were marching pretty high in December. And essentially, they produce certain type of batteries that are used for EVs called solid state lithium batteries. But I think news came out. I can't remember what the news was that came out that just killed them. Something like people weren't going to use their batteries essentially, so they tanked a lot.
Yeah, it's because the new Teslas are now going to be powered by 3 Duracell D batteries. So
I respect it.
no need for that solid state lithium. That's of the past. This is the new wave.
Yep. So the new Tesla is being run by a hamster on a wheel in the back. So yeah, no need for batteries anymore. We just have hamsters running in our cars. It's gonna have
Yeah.
it's gonna have about 1/8 of a horsepower.
I'm down for it. Whatever works, right?
Yeah, and then number 2 here was PMV Pharmaceuticals. They are down just shy of 20%, and they're a company that develops cancer therapeutics. I couldn't really figure out why they went down. I looked and looked and looked, and nothing really came up in terms of news sources. But they are developing some therapeutics with the P53 enzyme, essentially. So maybe some bad press came out about that, or maybe a clinical trial came out.
Clinicals, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't find any, so I don't know exactly what the reason behind that was. Maybe it was a pump and dump. You never know.
Oh, speaking of pump and dump, that's foreshadowing to our first sleeper of the day, but we'll get into that shortly.
Let's get into that right now. I'm done with pharmaceuticals.
So am I. Sleep. All right, if any of you are on the Reddit subreddit Wall Street Bets and you read it for like 5 minutes, you already know what this first one is.
Yeah, number 1 we have Palantir Technologies. Only reason it's up there is because it's on Wall Street Bets, so it's probably a good idea to stay away from this company. But I thought it'd be funny just to put it up here anyways. Just like reading through the thread, and you just see people posting that they're making ridiculous calls that expire in like 2 weeks for like $30, and companies only at like $20.
Yeah, it closed at $23 today. It's funny watching everyone's lost pictures because they have $30 calls on it. That stock is so insane. It's gone up like 200% in the last since they IPO'd in September. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just thanks to Wall Street Bets, and honestly, it's pretty much a cesspool. So I wouldn't recommend it for anybody, but some of the stuff's pretty funny to read, I will admit.
Yeah, I think the main stocks right now on Wall Street Bets I think it's Palantir, GameStop, Tesla always is on there. I think it was Virgin Galactic as well, and also
Yeah, and
I think it was Peloton.
Yeah, Peloton and Purple mattresses.
Yeah, so like just I would if you don't want to have volatility, just don't even look at the stocks.
Yeah, and they do a bunch of calls on AMD and Neo. So
true.
Honestly, it's super ridiculous, but it's entertaining to look at.
Yeah, after you know, if you have a rough day in the market, just go on Wall Street bets and you'll feel better about yourself, honestly.
Yeah, dude, some of those people lose like hundreds of thousands in a day. It's so wild.
Yeah, those people are. It's like worse than going to casino. Like you see people at casino who look like they're just lost everything. Wall Street bets is
You
that
literally lose
magnified.
everything. Some people put everything on margin and lose that too, and then they're negative.
Yeah.
They owe Robinhood money. Anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Yes, sir. Number 2, we got Walt Disney Company. You know, Disney's always a great company. You know, I made a mistake. I sold it at like 125, and it went up quite a bit. So it kind of sucks. But you know, hindsight, whatever. But Disney's great. Check that out.
I agree.
Yeah, they own everything, monopolizing the digital world.
Yep. Check out that ESPN too.
Pretty much.
Disney
And then
got it all.
number three, we got Nike. They make some pretty sweet sneakers. Tyler's a collector of it. I'm not really into it, but a lot of people are. So sneakers are cool. They have some pretty cool like shirts and pants as well. So just overall, a pretty good company for apparel.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a fan favorite, definitely a sports favorite. They have all the biggest athletes rocking at Nike, so they definitely have publicity. And they're rock solid. They've been producing and people have been buying, so thumbs
Yes,
up on
sir.
Nike.
They pretty much have the entire market, at least in America.
Mhm.
The next closest is probably Adidas, but they're not even really competitor for Nike. Nike is just way ahead.
Yeah. They're not even close, and their innovation is way ahead, and their athlete sponsorships are off the chain.
Oh yeah, definitely. They have everyone, pretty much you could think of.
I totally agree. But that being said,
They don't have big gauchos.
they don't have big
Mhm.
gauchos, and the only one that has us is Anchor, and we have everything we need with Anchor. So why would we complain or change anything? So
True. Let's hit that ad.
couldn't have said it better myself. Whew. All right, we got no new additions to the bankruptcy boneyard, but if you've been seeing Waldo on these, I forgot to mention that earlier, but if you find any of them, leave us a comment below. Can't believe I forgot to put that at the episode top. But also have not eaten a Ruby Tuesday. Canal took that dub today on the ye olden Dow Jones game. So since it's kind of free reign, I'm gonna say 323.89 for tomorrow.
33.23.
0.89.
So a 200-point drop.
No, it's 100 points up.
Wait, what?
He went up $100.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I went up,
100
I went up
points.
100 points. Yeah, 33.23.
Okay.
0.89.
Are you gonna follow that, Dave, or you want me to go?
You can go. I got my number locked in.
All right, I'm going 29,950.
Dang, that's a pretty good sized drop.
I think we're gonna do a double take on the back-to-back bad days, and then gonna fill a couple more orders and get some stocks rolling.
You know, I
Yeah,
think it's gonna.
gotta
I
be
think it's gonna be.
consistent.
I agree. Gotta be consistent. That's the key to success on the Big Gaucho Dow game, guessing game.
It's just gambling.
Pretty much. I think it's gonna bounce back. I think today was a fluke. Something happened and the printer machine turned off for a second, but I think they're gonna turn it back on. Probably put it on full blast. I'm going at 30,600 points.
All right. We'll see
we got-
how it goes.
We got some pretty killer spreads on there, I gotta say.
Yes, sir. We got a good vertical spread going.
Yep. Canal is not buzzed in yet, but if for some reason he does between now and the outro, we'll let you know. But you'll just have to come back and see who took that dub, that big Gaucho dub. I want to thank everyone for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Leave us a voice message on anchor.fm/gauchos or biggauchos.com if you want to send an investing tip. We might play it or talk about it on the show. Tyler, would you like to do that disclaimer?
Yes, I do. All right, Big Gauchos, quick disclaimer because we love disclaimers. Everything said on this podcast is our opinions from our experiences. We are not licensed brokers, so please invest safely, Big Gauchos. Do your due diligence and make sure you know what you're putting your money into. With that being said, we are not liable for any lost gains, but we are directly liable for all major gain. It's a new year, new possibilities. I'm ready to make some money with you guys, and please like and subscribe. We're growing every day. Dave, please let the viewers know our amazing Instagram.
So the Instagram is at Big Gauchos on the Instagram app. So come check us out and make sure to fill out your $20 puts on Tesla and Apple that expire in about 2 days because we're gonna get some chicken tendies.
Oh my.
Yep. The attendees are definitely going to print. I'm probably going to get a copyright notice from Wall Street Bets. Make sure after you check us out on Instagram, give the video a like on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and also check us out on audio so you can take us with you on the go, or you can listen to us at work if your boss isn't around. Who knows? Listen to us on a drive or your commute. We are on all streaming platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Google, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Radio Public, Overcast, or add us to your own RSS for your application. Share that time code with a friend. Apple, especially if you're listening, make sure you leave us a rating 1 to 5 stars. We do not accept anything less than 4.5 stars, and leave us a nice review and tell us who your favorite Big Gaucho is. Boys, anything else to add?
Hopefully Jack Ma is okay.
2021.
Lordstown 2021 going to at least 1,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I hope he's okay too. So if you guys can find Waldo in this slide, and good night from Arizona. I hope you made some money. Peace.